Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Today's topic, my 27/F cousin, 27/F, confessed that she was in love with my husband, 29. She's currently living with us, and I have no idea how to act. Literally what the title says. My cousin has been living with us for the past 4 months, along with her toddler so she can save up to get her own place. Yesterday, whilst my husband was out, she asked me if we could talk. I thought she was going to ask me if she could stay a little while longer. The original plan was for 6 months, but instead, she gave me a long speech about how she was in love with my husband, how she tried to make the feelings go away, but they keep getting stronger, and how she thinks he might be her soulmate. She kept apologizing, but said that when she sees him with her son, she knows her family is complete, and he could offer her and her son the stability they need. I was honestly so shocked I just said I need time to process this. I've been avoiding her since my husband has been holed up in his office, working, so he hasn't noticed anything weird yet. I think I'm still reeling from the shock. I can't even ask her to move out because her family disowned her when she had a baby out of wedlock. I haven't told anyone in real life yet either, because I know they are all just going to tell me to kick her out, but I can't make my nephew homeless during a pandemic. What do I do? TLDR, my cousin, who is staying with us for another 2 months, thinks my husband is a soulmate. I have no idea how to act around her now. Help. I mean, did she expect you to excuse yourself from the relationship so she could have him? WTF. You definitely need to talk to your husband. I don't think she's actually in love with him. I think she's grieving from her family unit being blown up, and she sees a man providing what she doesn't have, and she wants that. She's not in love with your husband, she's just a single mom depending on family to get by, just wants your life. Time to talk to your husband and move her out. The only way you approach this is with your husband together. You and he should sit her down and explain that this will never happen, and if she so much as makes a move toward him, she will be out on the street on her own. A unified front will do 2 things. First, she will be embarrassed, and second, she will know where she stands in the hierarchy of the household. What was she hoping to achieve by telling you this? You saying back quote, "Okay, I'll divorce him and let you try it on with him." I wouldn't want her living with me. If she is this forward, then it's only a matter of time before she makes her feelings known to your husband. If you don't sit her down with your husband at your side and you let her stay until the end of the 6-month period, she is going to try to stay longer. Whether she loves him or the idea of a supportive male figure, she won't give it up and move out unless you shatter that fantasy or make her leave. Is she currently looking for a source of income or somewhere else to live? With 2 months left and a child, she should be hustling to find those things, but I bet she would rather stay without any option but your house, if that's the place she's closest to what she really wants. First of all, it's not your responsibility to take care of your nephew. It's your cousin's responsibility, and part of that responsibility should include not being a dumber and trying to destroy the relationship of the people who are putting a roof over your head. Second, you need to talk to your husband about it. You have given some weak excuses for why you haven't done that. Are you afraid that he's having an affair with her? Is that the real reason why you won't talk with him? She kept apologizing, but said that when she sees him with her son, she knows her family is complete and he could offer her and her son the stability they need. Obviously that's not going to happen, so you can either get over your obsession with my husband or you can find another place to stay. 2 things. 1. Yes. You can move her out. Her family disowned her and it sucks, but it's not your problem to fix. She straight up told you she thinks your husband is a soulmate, and that she thinks he'll give her and her son the stability she needs. What the what? Kick her out. You don't owe her anything at all, and she will figure it out once she has to, so cut her off. Her and your nephew will be fine. 2. If for whatever reason you want to salvage this and allow her to stay, I highly do not recommend this. You and your husband approach this together. She needs to see that you and him are a team and she has no place in your marriage. You tell her together that it will never happen and that she needs to get her shit together or get out. Together. Not just him. Not just you. Together. And lastly, it's your house. Why are you tiptoeing around her? You haven't told your husband this yet because she's at home. So, tell her to gfo because you and your husband need to discuss what she just effing told you. Damn girl, put your foot down. You tell her goodbye. That is extremely disrespectful to you. She is effectively suggesting that you move out of your relationship and your home. And after you allowed her to stay with you for free to save money, you can and should ask her to move out. She already has 4 and 3 months of savings. She will be fine. Also, she brought this on herself. If this is what she says to your face, imagine what little hints / put downs of you she's been making to your husband behind your back. Her being disowned by other family seems like her own damn problem. She should have thought about that before she did this. She is trying to literally steal your husband from you and feels so entitled to him that she thought she could just calmly explain to you that he is part of her family now and things would be okay. F that. Stop being such a doormat. Who the F does she think she is to pull this shit on you? Her cousin, on whom she depends for everything right now. Tell your husband and kick her the F out. Sorry, she needs to go. What's more important, your marriage or your nephew? I understand wanting to help family, but she made this an issue. And I'm not buying her being in love for 4 years. She sees stability of a house, a husband, an income, if only she could get you out of the way. Your cousin does not sound like a good person, and I don't care how much she apologized. Well, she needs to start finding a way to move out. Now that she has told you, her actions will only get more in the face. She doesn't respect you, or she would have been quiet about her feelings. You also need to talk to your husband about what she said. Mention how uncomfortable you feel about it all. In the meantime, you can tell your cousin to keep out of your way and to never disrespect you in any way again. How old is her toddler? Could this be tied to postpartum depression? Not an expert or even someone with experience dealing with it, but I have heard it can last a long time and express itself in weird ways. I have had a girl I know fall for me because of how I was with their kid before. No interest in each other other than friendship, but after her and her boyfriend separated and I started coming around to see her daughter, she suddenly realized how much I really meant to her. It didn't work out because, as I said, we never had anything between us but friendship, but being a single mom can be a scary, overwhelming thing. Tell your husband, be the united front in telling her that there's nothing there for her and it's just a misplaced crush. She says not just she thinks he is her soulmate, she also said if she sees him with her son she knows her family is complete. Am I the only one who thinks that sounds fishy? Don't want to say that it has to be like this, but is there a possibility that her son is his? Or that they have an affair? I don't want to set doubts in your head, but it just sounds fishy. I mean, what does she think will happen? That you will step aside because you love your husband and her so much that you can't bear to stand in the way of their happiness. She's delusional, and I suspect that she's pretty childish to boot. No consequences for bad actions, making bad decisions and just floating through life. She gots to go. Get with your husband and tell him what's going on. You both need to get her out of your house with a quickness. If you feel for your nephew, offer to keep him until she settles elsewhere. But she is no longer welcome. Ritter, Quinton and I are incredibly uncomfortable with you staying with us. You have violated the sanctity of our marriage and it's not healthy for you to stay here. We need you to pack and leave, preferably within the next 24 hours. We'll be happy to take care of the baby until you get settled elsewhere, but we can't let you stay here. Why are you catering to your cousin's needs instead of your own? I get that she has a young son, but this is your house and your husband. You shouldn't be afraid to talk to him about this major problem that has just popped up in your relationship. I see several excuses why you can't tell him. He's busy, holed up in the office. Great. That's a great time to have an alone conversation with your husband. My cousin was hovering, and I couldn't talk to him, holed up. Didn't you just say he is as alone in his office? That's a very appropriate place to have a difficult conversation away from your cousin. This is ultimately your house and your life. Don't get sucked into this fallacy that putting your cousin and her son's needs before your own marriage is somehow such an important thing to do that you sink your marriage over it. Or are you afraid to talk to your husband for some other reason you haven't elaborated on? If my house guest told me they loved my husband and he was their soulmate, within the next 10 minutes I'd be discussing it with my husband. We'd discuss how to move this person out of our immediate lives because it's an intrusion on our marriage and it's unwanted. I don't understand why it matters how long she's had these feelings. Whether it's a passing delusion or sustained, it's wrong. You and he are married, that's that. Get her out. For everyone's sake, including hers. There's no way you are the only housing option she has. You might have been the preferable one, but she shouldn't have screwed it up by acting this way and making the situation toxic. Your cousin is clearly the kind of person who, when given an inch, will take a mile. She's probably thinking you're a sap who won't throw her out on the streets, no matter what she does, because of the baby. Don't let her treat you like a fool in your own home and try to play mind games. I can't even ask her to move out because her family disowned her when she had a baby out of wedlock. So she made a bad decision and you are keeping her around so that she can focus on a more home-wrecking endeavor. I wrote it in the comments already, but just to add, she claims she's had these feelings for at least 4 years, and they've just grown so strong recently that she couldn't keep it in anymore. Also, her son is 18 months. So, she kept herself to herself, let you to invite her into your home without spoiling the beans. Evil mastermind.